Justin McCoy, a customer experience manager here at Blue KC. And today I'm with Mindy Rubio, who is the director of the contact center, as well as Chris Klein, who is our operations customer experience manager. Thank you both for being with us today to talk a little bit about employee experience and culture.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
So, like I said, they're going to be discussing Blue KC's efforts around employee experience and culture transformation. Before we dive into the specifics of what we sought to accomplish with your efforts, we need to first review how it fits into the context of the larger corporation goals and strategy. Mindy, can you talk about the mission and vision with the strategy of Members First?
Absolutely. Our mission for our Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City organization is actually to provide affordable access to healthcare and to improve the health of our members. And along with that, we have the vision of creating simple, affordable, high-quality healthcare. And within that, we always want to focus on keeping our members first. And the way in which we do that is through intentional collaboration, reimagined care delivery, and also empathetic advocacy.
That's great information. Now, I imagine, and I think we all know that navigating health insurance is no easy feat with the complexities of the healthcare system as a whole, as well as things like regulation. And members, of course, have the expectation that in addition to providing high quality health insurance, that they also expect us as the experts that we help them navigate this complex care system. Mindy, can you share with us what kinds of things that we're doing to make it easy for our members?
Absolutely. So Blue KC's Members First strategy encompasses a value we call empathetic advocacy. And since Blue KC has a deep understanding that employee satisfaction leads to customer satisfaction, we have tried to make sure that we start to make these themes consistent across the board. In regards to advocacy, we employ advocates, not just agents or representatives. We have turned the tables and changed our customer service representative titles into customer advocates. And even as they progress through their career, they continue to have roles with advocacy within the name, so that we can always remind them that you're not just an agent, you're not just a representative, but you are actually out here advocating for our customers, and your role is extremely important. Another piece of that is that empathy and the listening skills are extremely important for us within the organization as well. Those skills are not only taught and coached, but they are even screened up front during the recruiting and hiring process to ensure that our advocates are the right fit for the job. The ownership that we set forth is demonstrated throughout our incentive programs. 25% of each employee's incentive is directly linked to our customers' feedback. We have made sure that we have woven that ownership throughout the entire organization, not just within the contact center, because customer experience is for everyone within the organization, not just customer service or the contact center. We also continue to do ongoing employee satisfaction surveys to ensure we are providing a positive employee experience and addressing any concerns. Because again, we understand that the employee experience has a direct relationship to the customer experience. And then gathering and acting on that feedback is a deep-rooted process within our culture.
That's great. So what kind of process did we undertake to get us to that goal of true empathetic advocacy? What went into getting us there? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, I can talk about that. It's certainly been an extensive process. We had a 5-year roadmap towards understanding, optimizing, and transforming our customer experience. It started with a CX team that was created in 2018. We organized a co-creation event with 12 members of our executive leadership team. And we defined what customer experience means to the organization and what it means to have a customer experience strategy. We then created a framework called a Customer Resolution Delivery Model, or CRDM, and introduced that to our customer service, customer experience, learning development, and quality teams. We implemented immersions for our staff within customer service, learning and development, and quality, helping the staff realize we did not want them to handle customer interactions transactionally. We made a move to focus on building connection with the caller first and addressing their emotional needs before moving on to their technical needs. And we also removed average handle time metrics and as much red tape as possible getting in the way of them, showing their true selves to their customers and handling items to completion. The front lines saw a change as leadership got to know their individual staff better by finding their motivations with goals and targets now completely aligned.
That's great. So we essentially established, a clear framework, goals, and we moved the barriers out of the way of these advocates in order for them to be able to provide these wonderful experiences. Can you talk a little bit about the contact center mission and how we get the advocates to embrace this new culture?
Sure.
Maybe you want to take that one?
Sure, I can do that. Just as I talked about, we have a corporate vision and mission. We found it important within the contact center to ensure we had buy-in and that everyone was on the same page. So we worked together to come up with a contact center mission. So we had a workshop where we had the leadership team and all of the supporting staff that help to assist our representatives on a day-to-day basis. And we spent some time together really talking about where we were and where we were going and how we needed to get there and what we could come up with at that time and from what we knew. So in that exercise, it was quite compelling and it was really nice to see us all come together and develop this mission on our own. And it was from all of the input from all of the participants within that workshop. So the mission that they came up with was to work together to deliver a world-class experience by inspiring each other to put our customer first. And by customer, we not only mean our external customer, but we mean our internal customers as well. And on top of the mission, we found it important to hold ourselves to some true values. And our values that we have committed to together is selfless accountability, consistent engagement, and to make it easy.
So how exactly are we, we talked about the framework, if you will. So how are we creating this world-class experience in the context of the framework that we talked about?
So we took a step back. We realized that when we were changing from focusing on the technical component of the calls and started to get into the emotional needs as well, that we needed to take a look at our call flow to ensure that we were allowing our staff to spend the needed time trying to understand the issue and show that they really care about their customers before they just got into the technical components of the call. So what we did was we went after this customer resolution delivery model because within it, it had components that made sense and aligned with our vision and our mission and our values as well. So those components are understand me, care about me, help me, and resolve me. So once we developed the call flow and we knew that we were using this terminology, we wanted to make sure that it became consistent across the board for everyone within the contact center. We have the call resolution delivery model with those 4 components, and we have taken that through the call flow. We've also taken it and laid it on top of our training program. So instead of just checking the box for the classes that they needed to have, we went through our training program and made sure that all the components we were teaching were relevant and important to the job that they were doing, and that it also focused on the technical skill along with the emotional skills, or at least addressing those emotional needs of the caller. Once we laid it on top of that, we rearranged the training to match up with that call flow and the CRDM so that the first thing they're doing is trying to understand the caller and then express that they care about them and flowing on into the help me and resolve me categories. So with that consistent terminology, with that consistent call flow, and not only call flow, but that consistent method of making sure that our quality forms and our training align with that same format, we've all been able to start speaking the same language. So when we are discussing these items, we don't have to go back and explain what those are anymore because they already know. We can just address the component and focus on where the improvements can be made or where the positive items are that we're coaching as well, and just continue through the conversation. And so that's been extremely helpful for us. And when we start them in that new hire training with that all aligned, then we're able to just start it from the first time when they enter in the door all the way throughout their career.
Naturally, you know, in order to keep people encouraged and to motivate them to continue to adopt this culture change, what kind of things are we doing to recognize these positive efforts by our customer advocates? Chris, can you speak to that?
Sure. So to recognize employee achievements and to build excitement across the organization, we created a program we call shout outs, where employees have the ability to go in and online submit a recognition for their employee that can be viewed across the organization. And we've seen 577 recognitions over the past 2 years, and they earn points with those recognitions. We've awarded 319,000 points during that time, and these points can be utilized to buy merchandise by that employee. And so it's generated a lot of excitement, and we've already seen great results with this program.
That's excellent. So what was the outcome, you know, from the numbers perspective, Chris, of these collaborative efforts to evolve our service culture? How do we wind up?
So we've seen significant improvements in measuring our world-class achievements. We measure that with our SQM post-call surveys from SQM. And in monitoring our world-class performance over the last several years, we've seen improvements from 2017 to 2020. We're world-class agents. We had 28% of them in 2017, up to 75% in 2020. Supervisors from 14% up to 100% in 2020. And for the first time ever, we are designated as achieving the level of a world-class call center by SQM. So we're very proud of those world-class achievements we've been able to obtain.
Oh, those are outstanding results. So in addition to these metrics, I think, like you said before, Chris and Mindy, that we were also using ease as an incentive metrics for all employees across the organization. And what we're looking at now is a visual of Forrester's index of all the health plans that are measuring ease. The industry average is currently 66%. And we can see that year to date today in 2021, we're already trending at 74%, which I think is a testament to all of the positive work and efforts that have gone on around. What are some other recognitions that we've received related to our efforts, Mindy?
We've received many, and it's so exciting to be able to talk about these and to see that our hard work is paying off. We have been ranked #1 in overall satisfaction among commercial health plans in the Heartland region for 2020 with J.D. Powers. We were also recognized as the highest employee experience for the healthcare industry by our partner vendor SQM, who handles a lot of our surveying. We also received a first call resolution best practice award for our quality assurance program, in addition to world-class certification, which was one of the biggest accomplishments we've had because we've been working so hard for so long to reach that achievement, and we finally were able to do that in 2020. So we have so much to be proud of, and I could continue to go on and on, but I really just want to make sure that we recognize that the success that Blue KC has achieved is owned by all Blue KC employees. It's attributed to the collaboration of the team members and the leaders who embody that customer advocacy. And without all of them, we could not be delivering the service that we are today.
So very true. Mindy Rubio and Chris Klein, want to thank you for your time today.